Hello friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's day 4 in Istanbul. We will be leaving for Trabzon in the afternoon today where we will stay 3 days. So you have a lot of exciting videos to come from Trabzon, the eastern Turkey. Today, as usual, we will start the day with a healthy breakfast. We are at Mado restaurant, which is a famous local chain of restaurants. They have a lot of branches in Istanbul. We are staying in Sultan Ahmet area, so we have a branch. It's quite close to Blue Mosque and Hagia Sophia. So we have selected the famous items of their breakfast, the supreme quality, which include a lot of cheese varieties, honey, jams, unlimited tea, and some varieties of eggs. You can see they have this sujuk inside, which is also very tasty in both the eggs. And for kids, we have ordered some cheese sandwiches. Overall, it looks so beautiful, and taste wise also I will give it 10 out of 10. And ending the breakfast with Turkish coffee. So it's definitely recommended. If you're here, do try Madu. And in terms of bill, it's 20 euros for the whole breakfast. Back to our main trip. So we are leaving from Istanbul to Trabzon by air. Trabzon is a city on the Black Sea coast of northeast Turkey, which you can see in the map. There are multiple daily flights from Istanbul to Trabzon through Pegasus Airlines and Turkish Airlines. But it's important to book well in advance because the rate gets really high, and there's a lot of tourism from Istanbul to Trabzon. The flights were usually fully booked. I had a hard time to find one flight. Pegasus Airlines operates from Sabiha Airport, which is on the Asian side, and it's important to tell you that reaching airport is a big challenge, especially during afternoon. It took us more than 2 hours to reach airport, so you really need to plan properly. Even finding taxi is quite challenging. So the best and safest way is to book a airport transfer service. You can do it directly from your hotel, and it costs 45 euros. Bit expensive than taxi, but it's safe, it's comfortable, especially for a more than 2 hours drive. They have Mercedes vans which are very comfortable and very secure. Pegasus Airlines have some snack option at an extra cost. Either you can pay it while booking your ticket, or you can pay it separately during the flight. I took one chicken sandwich, which I will not recommend because it was cold, it was quite dry. There are better options available at the airport before the flight. We are about to land now. It was a short flight, 1 hour 40 minutes. There are other options available if you want to visit Trabzon through bus service. It takes more than 12 hours to reach there, not recommended. It seems like a beautiful city full of lights. Landing time would be 8 p.m. so evening has just started. We land, and I have planned to book a rent-a-car at the airport and go directly to our hotel. The interesting thing is that the airport is located right near the city center. The hotel I have booked is like 5 minutes drive from the airport. My Turkish friends back in office have recommended me to use a rent-a-car because the roads are quite well maintained. The traffic is light compared to Istanbul, so it's easier to drive. It's a small sized airport. It took us few minutes walk from the plane till baggage claim. So we'll pick our luggage and get our car to reach the hotel, and see you in the morning. So friends, we are back in the morning. It's a beautiful day, overcast conditions. The first impression of the city is that it's quite nice and clean. The roads look very well maintained. In terms of location, I will just explain you. So from this road, we are just exiting from our hotel, and what you see in front is the airport and then the Black Sea. In terms of traffic, it's a different scenario altogether when we compare with Istanbul, which is overwhelmed with tourism, and it's a crazy traffic and crowd in there. But what you see here is a very different atmosphere, pure oxygen, and no traffic blockage, no rush, no horns. In terms of atmosphere, it is as green as it can get, and for someone like us who are traveling from a busy city life, it's an amazing experience. I am driving with my windows down and taking some deep breaths. Trabzon is quite famous for its tea plantation and natural honey, which is quite obvious when you look at this environment. So now we are off to Sumela Monastery, which is a famous tourist attraction in Trabzon, close to 2 hours drive from main city center. I took some advice from my hotel reception and they have guided me to a beautiful restaurant on the way, which is named as Marzuba, quite famous for its location and views. We have stopped at Marzuba Cafe and Restaurant as it was highly recommended by our hotel. We haven't done our breakfast yet, it's noon time. But once we arrived here, looking at this view, I'm sure the food is also going to be as beautiful as this view. It's a pure natural environment full of greenery, sound of river. And as I mentioned you earlier, this place is famous for its natural honey. And everywhere, wherever we see flowers, we see these beautiful little honeybees doing their work. The menu looks quite rich. There are a lot of local specialities available here, and all the food is freshly prepared by the local ladies in the kitchen, which is an open kitchen, so anyone can go and observe. We have ordered again supreme breakfast. It covers all the local specialities, so different varieties of cheese, eggs, bread, butter, honey, honeycomb. And one additional item is this muhlama, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, which is a local speciality made in butter, cheese and corn flour. So you can easily see the food in itself looks so beautiful. In terms of price also, it's quite reasonable when you compare with Istanbul. All this huge breakfast is approximately for 12 euros, while a similar level of breakfast we had yesterday in Mado costed us close to 20 euros, so it's almost half of it, and quantity is much bigger than that. And of course, with this view and location, I think it's a must try. We are done with the breakfast and back on the road again. It was a special experience. The quality of food, taste, the atmosphere, all the desi sitting arrangement, everything was so special. We checked and all the food was freshly prepared. So a special thanks to the guys who recommended this to us. It's always important when you're visiting a place, do get some recommendations, some places to visit from the locals who know the area, who know these hidden gems. And it's an excellent start of the day, very refreshing. This cafe was located around 40 minutes drive from main city, so it was on the way to Sumela Monastery. For us it was easier, but even if you are staying in Trabzon, you can always come and have a try of the food they are serving. We continue our journey through these beautiful roads with this scenery, and it feels like breathing the purest of air we could have ever imagined. We have reached the parking of Sumela Monastery. The good thing is that the government has arranged a big parking lot where you can leave your cars to avoid crazy rush at the main area, and then they have these shuttle services. You can also choose to walk if you want to go free. These shuttle services like 15 Turkish lira per person, and it takes like 10 minutes drive. After the minibus ride, we have another 350 meters walk upwards through these stairs, which will be a good test of your fitness. Unfortunately, the weather is not on our side today. The whole monastery is right in front, but it's fully covered with fog and nothing is visible. But at least we'll be able to go inside and then explore it from there. I'm at the ticket counter. The entry fee is 125 Turkish lira or 8 euros. This monastery is located at 1200 meters high altitude and built on steep cliffs. It is a site of great historical and cultural significance and as well as major tourist attraction here. Due to an increase in rock falls, it was closed for tourism in 2015, but it has been reopened again from 2019 onwards. The name Sumela comes from Greek language meaning black mountain. And if you look at the history of this place, it is not known when the monastery was founded, but the Turkish Ministry of Culture and Tourism places the date around AD 386. During its long history, the monastery fell into ruin several times and was restored by various emperors. Today, the Sumela Monastery is a museum open to visitors. Restoration work is funded by Government of Turkey and the monastery is now enjoying a revival in its pilgrimage from Greece, Georgia and Russia. The principal elements of monastery complex are the rock church, several chapels, kitchens, student rooms, guest house and library. The inner and outer walls of the rock church and the walls of the adjacent chapels are decorated by frescoes which are quite old, which have been seriously damaged due to vandalism. The main subject of the frescoes are biblical scenes telling the story of Jesus Christ and Virgin Mary. So friends, we are done with the tour of monastery. We are outside. There are some beautiful restaurants and cafes alongside this stream. We'll sit here, relax and have some cup of tea. That would be end of today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do let us know in comments and keep watching. Thank you.